Hello and welcome to the 2014 WordPress tutorial. This is going to be a tutorial over WordPress version 3.9. We're going to go ahead and get started here by going over exactly what this WordPress application video is specific to. This specific WordPress application video is built for the School of Social Work, and as such will be demoed in the beginning given the specific login scenarios for WordPress in social work. We're going to be demoing this, and then we'll move into the actual WordPress generalized tutorial video. We have some example files that we'll be working with: images, PowerPoints, documents, audio, and video, to be demoing how we can put those on the web. So first things first, let's start off by saying that WordPress is a generalized web format. However, if some things aren't working, the best thing you can do would be switch to a browser like Chrome. Google Chrome is currently the leading browser on the web. We're actually using Mozilla Firefox for this demonstration today, since it as well is very advanced and leading and works very well. Either of these will work. You can get Chrome by just going to Google and searching for Chrome, or you can search for Firefox on Google as well. They're both the top links. Either works well. We suggest Chrome, and for this demonstration we'll be using Firefox, so either or. So the first thing you're going to do when you get started with School of Social Work will be to go ahead and log into your portfolio. For generalized WordPress, this will be, if you have created your own site, you'll get an email with your login information through wordpress.org, or if you are setting up your own domain, you'll already know how to have your access to your account. Primarily, if you're joining a WordPress network, you'll get an email with a username and password and a login link. That username and password will be what you use to log in. For the specific WordPress scenario, since this is a customized Active Directory based environment, we're going to go ahead and go to eclass.e.southern.edu, which is going to have the welcome to eClass. You're going to sign in with your SAU username and password. No need to remember the password. You're going to go to your homeroom. And since this is primarily applicable to the MSW students, we're going to be demonstrating this for the MSW. If you're BSW, you probably got an email. Some BSW courses may have this in the future. Currently, since BSW classes don't have a homeroom, we're going to go ahead and just demo this for the MSW homeroom. But if you're BSW, you should have received an email with your username and password. If you did not, you can do the password reset. Your username will be your SAU username, and your password will be sent to you via email. For MSW though, you'll see this link. Click here to access your social work portfolio on the School of Social Work Portfolio Hub. Just go ahead and click that, and it's going to take you to students.swpro.org. Now, the nice part about this is that you're already logged in. You can just go to students.swpro.org, or just swpro.org, since they actually redirect there now, and you'll be already logged into the website. If you do need to log in the future, you can just go back to your homeroom and click that link. That's the extent of the login process for MSW. Once you're already logged in, I'm actually going to go ahead and log out actually for the purpose of this portfolio. If you're BSW and you have forgotten your password, or if you are not working within the social work network and you forgot your password, all you have to do is click lost your password and enter your SAU email, or your email address if you're using a generalized WordPress installation, and click get your new password, and your email will receive the new password. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've logged out, so I'm just going to click this again to be logged back in. And here we are. This is the home page for the SW Pro WordPress network. Now, how do you get to your specific portfolio on this network? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is look for My Sites up here. Notice if it says Howdy username, you're already logged in. So over My Sites, I'm going to hover over that, and I see Vince Cantrell. Your portfolio will usually have your name as the title, and I can either click on that and I can see my dashboard, or if I want to actually go back, I can hover, and I can click Visit Site to go directly to my site. Now your site's going to be students.swpro.org/your SAU username. This is true of any social work portfolio. If you do not have an account, when you put your SAU username, it'll say not found. That's a good way to test whether you have an account or not. But I'm going to go to My Sites and click on Vince Cantrell. That way I can see my dashboard here. This is the WordPress dashboard. what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the things all the way down the side and talk about what all of them do. And we're going to talk about specific implementations of WordPress and how you can set up your blog and get it working. So from the dashboard, this is your at a glance. You can see that you have one post, one page, and one comment. This is the default for WordPress. They create a page, a post, and a comment for you so you can see what's going on. You have storage space. It shows you how much you can actually upload. This is important if you're uploading a lot of files to your site, and we have some students that do that. Once you've reached that 155 megabytes, you're not going to be allowed to go over that, so you do need to delete some stuff and kind of consolidate your space, and we'll talk about how to do that in a little bit. It actually shows you how much of that is being used by your music and media. So quick draft, you can actually create a post from right here. You can title that and put some text in there, and that'll create a post for you right from here. WordPress news, this is unimportant. Activity, this just shows what you've been doing or any comments you've had. A lot of spam, so from right here you can just hit trash and delete that. This is if you want to move things around. You can just drag and drop. All I do is I clicked up here, I drag and drop. That's the dashboard. My sites shows you all the available sites. If you're added to, let's say there's some clubs or different sites on a network, all of your sites that you're a part of, whether you're a subscriber or an administrator, will show up here. Generally, you'll only have one, but you may have multiple, so this is where you would find different sites. Posts. Clicking on the posts page, this is where I can see all of the blog posts. This is different from pages, since a lot of WordPress portfolios are going to be set up with pages. This would be if you're going to create a monthly blog or whatever. I do a weekly post or whatever. This is where you can see those posts. I'm going to go ahead and create an example post. I'm going to click Add New. Now it's going to pop up and tell me New Media Manager. They've really redesigned the whole upload process, which has been really nice, and so we'll check that out in a minute, but for right now I'm going to click Dismiss. I'm going to call this example post, and I'm going to say this is some example text. Notice it automatically created a permalink for me. A permalink is the link that you can go to get to that post directly. Let's say you don't want to tell somebody, oh, you just want them to see this specific post. If you want to email that to someone or put it on Facebook, you can copy this permalink, and that's going to take you directly to the post. Copy. That's going to take you directly to this example post. Let's say I want to format this text. I can double click on a word and hit bold, and it's bold. I can italicize the first word. I can even strike through that word. Let's say I want to have a list. I can click on the bullet list. I can say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say I want to have a nested list. Under 2, I want to put a sub item. I can do that by hitting, actually, you have to open the kitchen sink. Oh, they changed the name of it, finally. In WordPress 3.9, it's now called Toolbar Toggle. For a long time, it was called the kitchen sink. We didn't know why. And the way that you can indent this would be to click Increase Indent. Now you have a sub list. Sub item, I guess that's 2 words, 1, 2, etc. Let's say I want to have a numbered list. I can click numbered lists and do, just for the sake of fun, B, C, D. Let's say I want to do a sub item under A. I can click increase indent and it creates a new list under A. I can do X, Y, and Z. That's not Z. And that's how you do sublist and bullets in WordPress. Let's say I want to change the color of some text. Say I want that to be red. I can just click text color and click red. Let's say I want this as a header. Let's say I want this to be a different size. I can click on paragraph here and click different size headings. This is a header. Let's say I want to, this is center text. I can do alignment center. I can do alignment right. Notice it's not going all the way to the right of the page over here. WordPress blog is going to cut your blog off. It's going to be usually about this width. This is just this wide because the window's this wide. It's using the full window. Notice while we're over here on this side of the screen, there's this thing called distraction-free writing. If you click that, WordPress has implemented this beautiful, I mean, everything goes away. All you have is this white page. If you want to go up to the top, you'll see all of your editing options, basic editing options. They don't give you a lot here. And then you can actually exit full screen from that. Actually, this is not center text. This is right justified. Back to center. This is special characters. If you want to insert a special character, like the copyright symbol, I'm going to justify that left. Let's say you want to paste something, but you just want it to be text and not, usually Word will copy the formatting. This paste as text will just copy the text. Clear formatting. I really don't want to do that, but let's click clear formatting. That takes away all except the strike through formatting. I'm going to hit undo. All I did is Command Z on a Mac or Control Z on Windows and it will undo that, just like any other application. I'm going to go ahead and click on insert a read more tag. This is going to put up more. In other words, you can't do anything with this here, but when you actually go to the posts page, it's just going to show this part, and you'll have to click read more to see all of this stuff down here. The rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. Block quote, if you want to do a block quote, you can block quote text. That's pretty straightforward. You can insert a hyperlink. Let's say I want, this is a link, well, let's unblock quote that. This is a link to google.com. I'm going to select this. Now that I've selected it, I can click on insert, edit, or remove link. Now I can't remove a link because there's no link there, it just doesn't do anything. But if I want to insert or edit a link, I click that, and it gives me an http:// I'll just type google.com. And let's say I don't want it to take them away from my site, so I'm going to click open in a new window or tab. This is a link to google.com. And now I'm going to hit publish. On the side over here, before I do that though, I'm going to talk about the publishing options. We have status is currently a draft. If I needed to have posts reviewed, some blogs require reviews from administrators. You could change the status to pending review. That means you want them to look at it. You're ready for them to see it. The visibility, this is good for news sites. The visibility, this is if you want this to stick this post to the front page. It's a breaking news story or whatever. Password protected, this is if you have a really sensitive material that maybe for FERPA or whatever you have to have a password. You can put a password here. Or if you want it to be private, that only logged in users can see, click on private. And then you can protect it so that only people that are actually logged into your site can see it. Publish content immediately. If I hit edit here, I can actually publish this in the future, May 17, 2014, or in the past. I can publish it back in January. WordPress is very flaky about that in the sense that it's not, there's no hard-coded timestamps, which is actually probably better because they could be hacked anyway. But you can backdate and postdate stuff. It works pretty well. So I'm just going to post it today, hit cancel there. Format, this is the type of format that you want it to be. If you're just posting a video, post a video and it will format it better for a video. If you're just posting an image, it'll format it for an image. A quote, just post a quote, etc. But I'm going to hit standard here, and I'll show when we do a video what the video looks like. Categories, uncategorized. We'll talk about categories in a minute when I click on the categories tab. We'll create a new category and make a new post. Or probably just change the category of this post. Quick page / post redirect plugin. This is useful. This is actually not default in WordPress. This is a part of the specific STB Pro installation. Anybody can install this in their network or blog. We just have it enabled by default for users. This is if you want to redirect a post to somewhere else. So in other words, if you create a page and you want it to link to your Facebook, you can say, just title it Facebook and then make redirect active and then paste the link to your Facebook. And then when they click on that link, and we'll demo that, it'll go to your Facebook. We're not going to redirect since this is a blog post. Any tags, in case you want people to be able to search by tags, this, if you're familiar with Twitter, is pretty much how that works. You can just search by tags and that's how that works. Page links to its normal WordPress URL, or you can set a custom URL. If, again, you want it to go somewhere else. It looks like WordPress is actually built in this quick page / post redirect plugin into WordPress 3.9. We'll demo that later to see if that's actually how that works. I'm going to go ahead and hit publish here. We get a little spinning circle, and then I get this little green bar up here, post published. I'm going to click on view post and open it in a new tab. This is my post. Notice everything looks just how we had it. There's only a little bit of width here, so it doesn't. This is center text, and that's how that works. You can leave a reply down here. I'm going to click on the name to go back to the home page. Currently it's set, WordPress blogs are set to blogs by default, which means that the posts are going to be on the home page. I'm going to show how we can change it to a website mode here in a minute. Let me go to categories. Categories are, let's say you're posting on technology. Let's create a technology. I'm going to call it tech. Here's the slug. The slug is the URL friendly version of the name. In other words, remember we copied the permalink. It was student, the URL / whatever uncategorized. This would be /tech. So if you want to have something shorter there, I'm going to say stuff about technology. Add new category. I'm also going to say medical, if you want to post some medical stuff. And here I'm going to use the full name in lowercase. You really don't need to capitalize this because it's going to be a URL, and URLs don't have capitals. So, stuff about medical. Now we have two categories here. We only have 2 posts. I'm going to go back to all posts up here under posts. And I can see we have example post. And this is the one we created in Hello World. Hello World is the default one from WordPress. It'll usually say something different than this. In a WordPress network, you can customize the Hello World text, which we have done to actually help people see these videos. So that's going to be the default text there. But I'm going to go ahead and categorize this as medical instead of uncategorized. I can just check. You can check multiple ones. It could be 2 or 3 categories. I'm just going to choose one for this case and hit update. Now when I go back to posts, I'm going to click example post, and I'm going to click technology. I'm going to leave uncategorized. Let's say I forget to uncheck uncategorized. Now when I go back to my home page here, notice I have some categories. Medical, technology, and uncategorized. Nothing in uncategorized. Nothing in technology. Nothing in medical. Well, that's actually not supposed to be how that works. This might be a bug in WordPress 3.9 or the theme itself. Notice here on the home page, continue reading. This is where we added our add more line. By the way, this links to google.com. It does. Our link works. And so this is the full post. Sorry to see that the technology and categories are still not working. This is not necessarily a bug of WordPress. It may be a bug of the current WordPress installation, but the premise remains the same. Clicking on these categories should take you to all the posts within that category. Let me go back to posts here. I'm going to click on quick edit really quick to show you what this does. Let's say I want to check multiple categories. I'll just check all 3 categories for this, and I'll hit update. Notice I don't have to change pages now. I don't have to wait for it to refresh. If you have really slow internet, it might take a while. I can just change a lot of things like the title, the slug, which we talked about is the URL part of it, example-post. You can password protect it here. Add any more tags. I'm going to update that. So we've talked about posts briefly, and now we're going to talk about the next part of WordPress tutorials, and that is pages. I'm skipping over briefly media. We'll talk about that in a second. Pages are what you would create if you want it to be a static page rather than an individual page. So pages, we're going to show you how to make a home page, how to make different pages that are static. Let's say you're setting up a website and not a blog. We'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to click on pages here, and we have a sample page. and there's nothing on here. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to hit add new. Let's call this a welcome, shall we? I want this to be on the home page. Welcome to our website. Let's say I want to have an image on the home page. I'm going to do that by clicking add media. Now let's bring up this add media window. It tells you how much you can upload. You can either choose to drag and drop files in here, or you can choose select files. Now initially I can see my desktop here with all of our available files on it. I'm going to choose to actually drag and drop our example image into this. Notice when I come over the window it turns blue, just to drop it. Now I don't know if you noticed that, but it really quickly uploaded that, and now it gives me this nice simple image editing options over here. I can choose to caption this gorgeous waves. I can put the alternative text, which is what the browser uses as waves, and the description. You don't have to set a description. You don't have to set any of this stuff. You can just insert the image by itself. So I'm going to leave that alone. Attachment display settings. Alignment. This is whether you want it to be left, right, or centered. I want it centered. This is when you click on the image, what do you want it to link to? I choose I want it to link to nothing. But you could have it linked to the actual file itself, or you could have it linked to an attachments page, or if you want the image to take you to facebook.com, you could set a custom URL as facebook.com. Let me actually do that so I can show you what that looks like. What size do you want it to be? I'd like it to be medium sized. That way it's not going to take too much of my screen. WordPress already sets the sizes by default as medium, so I'm going to click insert into page. Notice my gorgeous waves caption is here, and here's this. Now if I hit publish on this, I'm just going to click publish without adding anything else because we've already talked about these options. The publish settings, the status, the visibility, they're the same as the posts. So WordPress tries to make that pretty uniform. I'm going to go back to my home page now, and I should see a page for welcome. Now if I click on this, notice it's centered. It's not centered over here, but because it has the center tag, align center, it is centered on the page itself. So that's how centering works. If you want to exclude the page from the list of pages, you can uncheck that, and it won't. What would happen then is it would not show up here. So I'll update that and show you how that works. Notice it's not listed up here anymore. That's handy if you want to add some pages that are sub pages, but that you want to link to within. Let's say I want to create a page just for a website, but I don't want it to be listed up at the top. You could do it that way. But I'm going to choose to include this and hit update. And that's how that works. A lot of this is the same: normal WordPress URL, custom URL. Really quick, I'm going to set a custom URL to facebook.com. I'm going to again open in a new tab and hit update. Notice that when we go to the home page, if I click on welcome, it takes me directly to Facebook. WordPress has implemented a feature similar to the quick page / post redirect plugin, so we'll probably disable that. This may not even be in the video by the time you see this. Page Links 2 does the same thing, and it's built into WordPress now. This seems to be the theme of WordPress updates. They seem to be building in more and more features that people want to use. It even gives you a little notification: this content's pointing to a custom URL. Use the Page Links 2 box to change this. So you can click its normal WordPress URL. This is handy if you want to say, like I said, my YouTube. Just create a title that says my YouTube or whatever. You can do a custom URL to your YouTube, and it would take them there when they click on it. I'm going to go ahead and click update. Actually, I want to leave that as welcome. Hit update. Notice, by the way, the permalink changes. When it was on Facebook, the permalink was Facebook. Now it's back to its normal WordPress URL. So let's say I want to do a child page. Let's say I have core competencies, and I want to have a page for each competency underneath the core competencies. I'm going to say example sub page. This is a sub page. What I can choose to do is I can come over here to page attributes, and I can say who's the parent of this page. Well, I want well, actually I don't have a regular page. So I'm going to hit add new and say regular. I don't want to use welcome because that's the home page. Something here. The subpages. Publish. So now I have a regular page. This could be core competencies, describing what the core competencies are. This could be anything. Let's say I want to put my regular page or my example subpage as a subpage. I can do this two ways. I can click on who's the parent. I can set regular page, or I'm going to go back to the list of pages. Remember we talked about quick edit? It's really best to use quick edit anytime you can. You can't manage the content with quick edit, so if you want to click content, you have to click inside, but I want to set the parent. I can do that directly from quick edit. I'm going to hit update. Now let's go back to my site, and what do we see? We see regular page. Notice there's an arrow next to it. Oh, hey, look, a subpage. I can do add a new page, sub page, parent as subpage. Notice I now have an arrow here, and I have a subpage. So this is how you do nested pages in WordPress. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go ahead and create a page called posts. The reason to do this is if you are running a static home page, in other words, if you want welcome to be the page people see, let's say you still want to have a blog. I'm going to call this blog, and I'm going to hit publish. You don't want to put anything here because the content you see here won't be visible anyway, because if you're setting this as your blog page, your posts will be seen here, not the content. Now right now it's just a regular page, so whatever you put here would be seen. But we're going to go to settings and reading. We're going to get there eventually, but this is how to set a home page. Settings, reading. Front page displays currently your latest posts. That's WordPress's default. You want to click on a static page, which shows you all your pages if you click on static page. What do you want the front page to be? I want that to be the welcome page. What do you want your posts page to be? I want that to be blog. Now be sure not to set this to the same thing. We've seen people do that, and if you set your posts page and your front page to the same thing, it will show everything on one page and it gets really weird and confusing. So try to just set that to separate things, or if you don't want to have a blog, just don't select anything for posts page. Just leave it blank. We do want to have a blog in this case, so I'm going to hit Save Changes. Now, when I go to Home, vCan Trail, I see the welcome page by default. That's what it takes me to, instead of showing all the posts. If I do want to go to the blog, though, I can click Blog and see all of my posts. So that's all there is to creating a static home page on WordPress. Going back to my pages, let's say I want to reorder these a little bit. Let's say I want sample page to be all the way to the left. Let's talk about the order part. You can manage order in two ways. You can click on order over here, but again, it's much easier to just edit order from quick edit. The orders are all 0, so it's going to I think it does it alphabetically. It looks like it does. B, W, S, R. Looks like it does it alphabetically by default. But let's say I want sample page to be all the way to the left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a higher number than all the other pages. Let's say I put, for example, 50. 50 is higher than 1 is also higher, but 50 is higher. Okay, so it looks like it justifies it to the right in that instance. So the higher the number, the further right it is. So let's say I want, I recommend using intervals of 10. The reason for that is, let's say you add more pages later, 10, 20, or even 30. You could do it in intervals of 100 for all I care. It gives you the ability to add flexibility later. If I set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I set this to 1, and I set, let's say I want sample page to be all the way to the left, I'd have to set this to 1. I'd have to set everything higher than that. So regular page would be 2, blog would be 3, etc. and so forth. And welcome would be 4. The problem with this is that, let's say I add another page that I want to be between regular page and blog. The issue for me comes that I can't really just rearrange them. Let's say another page. Let's say I want this to be between those two. I can't just add 3.5. I shouldn't say that. You might be able to do it in this version of WordPress. Okay, so you can add 3.5, but the principle still stands. Okay, so it looks like it just did 3, and it doesn't actually let you do 3.5. Okay, good. So I'm not crazy. So now these are both 3. Now it's just doing them alphabetically. Another should be, yeah, to the left of block. But if you do them in intervals of 10, then you can add, you know, halfway between that and then halfway between that, and you have about, you could add 10 pages in between and still have options for adjustability. So that's the main reason I recommend doing them in intervals of 10. So let me do sample page as 10. I'm just going to add 0 to all these. Regular page 20. Another page 30. This also applies to the, I'm going to say 5. Let's say I want this to be all the way to the left again. And welcome can be 40. Now notice block should be all the way to the left this time. Yeah, because it's 5 instead of 10. I decided I wanted that to be all the way to the left. If I want to add another page that's to the left of block, I could say 4, 3, 2, or 1. Or to the right of block, but before sample page, I could say 6, 7, 8, or 9. So you give yourself some flexibility there. Now, a lot of this is relevant because WordPress now actually works better with menus than it does just by default. But let's say you don't want to use menus. This is a good way to manage the order of your pages. This also applies to the if you have multiple pages and you want them to be, they're alphabetical this way, going down as well, you can adjust the order with order as well. So that's how ordering works on pages. Let's go back to our home page, our welcome page. Let's add some documents to this, shall we? I want to add, currently we have an image. I'd like to go below the image, and I'd like to add some audio. Well, be sure not to just, oh wow, you can just drag the audio in WordPress. Okay, so as WordPress goes along, you can tell that they're making changes that are increasingly helpful to the user. Ordinarily, you used to have to choose what type of media to upload. Now you can just drag and drop anything into the thing. You don't even have to click on the Add Media button. But let's say I did that. Oh, I just X'd out of that window, but it didn't go in here. Why not? I didn't click Insert, so how do I get to it? Well, now I'm going to click Add Media. I could drag and drop again, but I've already uploaded it once. Now if I do that again, I'm using twice as much space. This example audio is already here. This is my media library up here. Remember, you can either choose to drag and drop, or you have this other tab for media library. I'm going to choose, this is a song, Oh Draw Me Lord. I'm going to choose to embed the media player directly into the page. Or you can just link to the actual file themselves if you want them to download it. The attachments page is not really that helpful for this. The attachments page is nice if you're going to upload like 20 things that people have to download. You can choose to link to the attachments page and it will let them download. The example media player, I'm going to choose to embed. Now, notice it gives me this nice player right in here. I'm going to hit update and go back to the home page and see what that looks like. This media player is new to WordPress as well. Used to be you couldn't actually just embed stuff. I'm going to click play. Notice it's loading and it's playing the song. So you can skip around in here. You have volume controls, you can just click, and that's built right into your WordPress blog. So you can tell I'm seeing new things about WordPress. WordPress 3.9 was literally just released, so there's some new things that we're not even used to in previous versions as well. I'm going to try that with a video. So say I want to have a video on my homepage as well. Obviously you would spread these out, you wouldn't want everything on one page, but we're doing this for the example purpose of the video. I'm going to choose to drag and drop, again, right into my window here. Gives me an upload. This is a little bit bigger video, so this is going to take a second to upload. Notice that over here we have the uploading bar. I'm going to set this to title to example video. Again, it embeds the media player right into the browser. This is new to WordPress recently. It may have been in 3.8 as well, but the embedded media player is really helpful because should you choose not to upload to YouTube, let's say you have unlimited space, you can just do that. Now, we've actually blocked MP4 files because we do not have unlimited space. So if your network administrators have blocked that, you'll get this, sorry, this file type is not permitted for security reasons. That just means that they're not letting you upload video files. A lot of times video files are too large. If you do want to upload video files, you can do that by going to youtube.com, signing in, Oh, don't have a Google account, just create an account, upload a video, and go through that. We're not going to go through that process. Uploading to YouTube is incredibly simple, but if you do want to watch a video on how to upload YouTube, you can just type that into Google and you'll get their step-by-step support on that. What's interesting is, let me go to youtube.com and let me go to this example video here is actually a demo video by Studio 4109. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the YouTube version of this video. Notice the same video starts playing. I'm going to click on the actual video itself. Now, like any YouTube video, everyone has seen the YouTube videos. Just click up here and do copy. So if you have your own WordPress blog and with unlimited space, you can just drag and drop videos. If you have a limited space, you can just paste in the YouTube URL. Let's see what that happens when we do that, shall we? Update. Go back to your home page. Notice that WordPress knew it was a YouTube video. It automatically embedded the video for you. So all you see is the link on your end, but what the users see on the website is the actual video itself. They can click play and watch it right from there. So that's how videos work in YouTube. Again, if you had unlimited space, you would have an embedded video player and it would work just like the YouTube one. Just click play and it would play. Let's demo uploading a document. I'm going to upload this example Word document here, which is just a basic example Word document. Drag and drop. Example Word document. I want them to be able to download this Word document, so it's going to link directly to the media file. Insert into page. Notice you get the title for that. If I go back to my page here, I have this example Word. Now if I click on that, it's going to ask me to download this file. That's really helpful. Obviously you can't just embed documents into the website. If you want to do that, you'll have to copy and paste the content. But this is a good way to share your Word documents and PowerPoint presentations. However, we do recommend that you create PDFs. So not everyone has Word, but everyone can view PDF files. So we do recommend that if you have Word documents, you export them to PDF. And I'll show you how to do that. Here's this Word document that we were working with. I'm going to click, well, you can't see it, but I'm going to click File, Save As. Everyone knows how to save as. And I'm going to choose PDF. Notice I'm saving it as a new file. It's a PDF. Here on my desktop, we now have this example Word document PDF file. Now, that is the file that you actually want to upload to your website. So I'm going to click example PDF, drag and drop, insert into page. Where to go? Okay, so my cursor was selected right at the top. If I want to move that, I can just select it and then do cut. Come down here, create a new line, paste. Except that this is really a PDF. So let's say I want to change the name of this. Let's say I even want to tell them click to download. Notice what I did was I clicked within the document. I didn't click on the end because then, well, it actually does append in this case. But if you have a space or after it, it won't be. It's regular black text. This is not part of the link. Versus when I hover over this, it turns green. So if I want to just append this example Word, let's say I can go to the end, not outside, but in the end I can click, I can keep typing. Example Word document. So that's how you would add to the link. It doesn't change the name of the file, but it does change the name of the link they can click on. Example PDF file, click to download. Firefox has a built-in PDF reader, so does Chrome. So if you actually click on that in Firefox, you're going to see the PDF by default. That is one of the main reasons to use PDF files, because then people can view your work and they don't have to actually deal with opening it in Word. Plus, usually people can't edit it. You can actually tell whether you want it to be editable or not. So that's how to do PDFs from Word documents. Let me go back and upload a PowerPoint presentation. A lot of people do slides. Let me just drag and drop this PowerPoint. This is if you want them to be able to view the PowerPoint. Example PowerPoint, update. Same as we did with Word. Now we're going to be able to click on this and download the PowerPoint file. But let's say you want them to just be able to not edit your file. Go back to File, Save As. I'm going to choose to click on PowerPoint Show. This is a specialty format. This format allows them to view it but not edit it. So a little demo in PowerPoint in a WordPress tutorial. PowerPoint Show allows them to view but not edit, or if you want to just save as a PDF, you can choose PDF. It's going to ask you, should ask you, didn't ask you. Notice, here's the PDF of all your slides. So I recommend strongly that you upload them as PDF files or as PowerPoint Show if it has other stuff that can't be just text, so that they can't edit your file and just have raw access to that. So here we have our example PowerPoint PDF file. Insert into page, where'd it go? Probably went up at the top again because I had my cursor up there. Cut, paste. I'm going to type, oh, nope, it's not green, so notice if you arrow over, it turns black. The first time if you hit space, it usually does turn black as well, but if you go back and do it again, it knows you're trying to extend the name and it stays green. So example PowerPoint PDF. Click here. Update. Notice that with our PowerPoint, instead of being offered to download it, I can just view the slides directly in my web browser. So that's the best way to do things. PDF, I know we're ragging on it, but PDF is really the best way to go with web-based stuff in any environment. So that's how to upload stuff and create content on your WordPress portfolio. I'm going to go back and click on this media page that we skipped over now. Notice from here, I see all the stuff I've ever uploaded. I can choose to do anything with these files. If I want to go back to my example PowerPoint, I can see all of the original things just in bigger format. I can edit the caption, the description. I can choose to delete permanently. This is good if you want to clear stuff. I don't need, notice it tells you have two files that are named exactly the same, example Word and example Word, but that one's a PDF and one's a doc. This tells you the type of file. You always are more interested in the PDF. I'm going to choose to delete the doc file. Notice that when I go back to my home page now, I still have my example Word document, but I get a file not found. So if you do delete it from the media page, make sure that if you're linked to it anywhere, you go ahead and remove that link as well. Example image. You can view your image, edit anything about it right from there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do a gallery. Let's say you have some media. You have like 50 pictures you want to upload. I'm going to go back to my pages. I'm going to go back to my home page. I want to insert a gallery here at the bottom. I'm going to click Add Media. I'm going to do Create a Gallery. Now, I only have this one image, but I need some more images. So let me go ahead and download some more Waves pictures just for the heck of it. I'm going to save a bunch of Wave images to the desktop. I'm doing this on another browser or another screen in case you're wondering why you can't see anything. The Wave images that we're using are coming off Google Images. You can do this with any browser that you so choose. If you have 50 images or whatever, you can do that way. So we have some images now. So I'm going to go ahead and upload some files to my gallery. Notice I have some images. If I want to upload multiple files at once, I can just select, hold down Command or Shift on Windows, or I think it's actually Alt on Windows, and you can select all your different Wave images. Notice we have some things here. So I'm creating a gallery. I'm under the Create Gallery on the side here, and I have these images are selected. If I want to deselect, I just click on it to select it. All I have to do is click anywhere on the image to select or unselect. Now I'd like to add all of these. It shows you down here you have 5 selected. It's all very straightforward. I hit Create New Gallery. If you want to caption them, you can caption them right from here. Beautiful. I'm going to choose to links to an attachments page. This is handy if you have like a gallery. It links to the attachments page of all the galleries. How many pictures across? I'd like 3. You could set a random order if you don't care if they're in order. And I'm going to hit Update. Notice, without having to just insert a bunch of images, I now can hover over them and see the caption. Click on any one of them and go to the attachments page for this. The attachments page Shows me the actual file name. I can zoom it. Don't actually know how to get back. I think you have to actually hit back from here. And you can choose to go to the previous image or the next image in your gallery. So WordPress is actually built in galleries, and it's pretty beautiful. You used to have an extension, or you used to need to have an extension for this. It's all built in now. That is the story of WordPress over the past few years since we've been making these videos. You used to have to need an extension for everything. A plugin for galleries, plugin for page redirection. WordPress is actively learning, actively adjusting things. And so that's one of the main reasons we use WordPress, is they're doing a really good job about keeping up with stuff. I even saw an option here under Add Media to create an audio playlist. Now I only have one song, but if we upload another song, which we don't actually have access to another song right now, but you could just add them and it would be the same thing as a gallery. It just gives you the options by default. Select what song you want to be in the playlist. I don't know if you can have a playlist of one. Turns out you can. So this, obviously there would be just 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You could click on them. It gives you the same player. It shows all of the options for it. It's a little more hands-on. Gives you some information about it right there. So this is really unique to WordPress in the sense that it is so beautiful to use. It is so mainline. If you want to insert from a URL, let's say you have an image off Google Images. I do have an image off Google Images. I'm going to go waves. I'm going to grab one I didn't grab. That's more of a ripple, but whatever. Let's say I want to view the image. I'm going to go copy image location. That's this URL here. Back to, I think I can go directly. Notice I just pasted that. All I did is I had nothing there. And I hit right click and I hit paste. It grabbed the image automatically, insert into page. That's if you don't want to download and re-upload. You can just paste directly from Google Images. And so I'm going to update that. And that's how, notice we have our playlist here. I can just click on the song and it starts playing. This is so beautiful for WordPress, so beautiful. Comments. These are comments that people have left on your pages or your posts. A lot of spam comes through here. That's the one downside to WordPress. They're working on that, and it's gotten better over the years. If you still get spam, you can just go ahead and trash it. This is the hello post. Anonymous said, "One thought on hello world." That's what they said. You can see what it's in response to over here. I'm just going to choose to, you can either unapprove it. That means it won't show up. That gives you a 1, meaning you have something to approve. Same up here. You have a 1, it takes you, if you click on that 1, it takes you to this page showing you. So if you have like 50 spam, you can just do this to select all, do bulk actions. I'm going to choose to just move them to trash and hit apply. Now they're still over here in the trash, but you don't have to worry about them. Appearance. The Appearance tab is where you change the look of your theme. You saw me messing with this a little bit earlier. Let's say I want to set a different theme. WordPress themes have come a long way over the past few years. A lot of these themes are the older themes that you see, so if you want to add a new theme, you do. If you're working on your own site, you can just do that. If you're working on a WordPress multi-install or network install, you have to ask your domain administrator to do that, and they can just install multiple themes for you. This is, we've used Cocoa before. Let's add Cocoa. It works pretty well. Notice all I did is I hover over it and I click activate. That's literally all it takes to change the theme on WordPress. Now if you're having issues with the theme, if things aren't working right, if you have a double home page, if you have like 2 homes or a home and a welcome, some themes have a built-in home page button. That's just a theme. Try changing the theme first before you ask for help, because it's likely that it's just the theme that you're using. Notice it looks entirely different. You have the same layout. You have your pages up here. You have your drop downs, your sub pages. Everything still works. It just looks different. So I'm going to go ahead and, I think this desk one is one that's broken. We really should uninstall it. But for the purpose of this video, actually it looks like it may be working now. Developers can update their themes, so maybe why we left it here. Notice here on the home page, everything is still here. You can still click on stuff. It just looks different. Just another social work portfolio site, or just another WordPress blog if you're using a basic WordPress blog. How do you change that? We'll get to that under settings, but it's under settings in general, and you can see it here. You can just change that there. Back to appearance. Let's say I want to customize my home page. Let's say I hit the customize button. WordPress has built some awesome customization options for their themes. I'm going to click on themes again and show you all it is. This is the active theme. The active theme will always be in the top left. I just clicked on customize. Now when you change stuff, it is actually edited live. This is a new thing in WordPress 3.9. You can change your site title right here. Let's say I don't want to go to settings. I want this to say an awesome demo site. Notice that changed live there. Now you saw what this looks like directly in the page. It's not actually live here, but you are editing a live version of the site here in the page. This was not always the case until WordPress 3.9 that released on April 16. Colors. Now your background color, you can't actually change it in this particular theme because it has an image, but if you had a basic background color, you could change that here. Background image, here's where you would change the background image. Let's just remove the image. Now you see your color here, ugly color that you chose. Yeah, that really is an awful theme. No offense to anybody that uses it. It's a beautiful theme. Static front page. Again, we saw this under settings and reading. You can change this right here from the customize page. You can set your post page and your welcome page, or you can do your latest posts. That's what it will be set to by default. Widgets on sidebar 1. This is where you can change the widgets that are over here on the side. Notice, I'm going to hit cancel and go back to 2014. I'm going to activate the default theme that we've been working with. Widgets are, let me explain what widgets are. They're the next thing down here under customize, which we clicked on. Widgets are things that are across all pages. Notice that no matter what page we go to, the widgets are still here on the side. Now what those widgets are is determined by what you do in here. Everything is drag and drop. So let's say I don't want to have a search bar. Well, I do want to have a search bar. Let's say I don't want to have categories since they're not working for me anyway. I'm going to click and drag it out and let go. It's gone. Now if I want to add it back, all the available widgets are still here. I can still grab, where are categories actually? Categories. I'm blind. Just drag categories back. You can just move stuff around. Let's say I want categories to be at the very bottom. Save. Refresh. Now categories is down here. Hey, by the way, look at medical works now. So I'm guessing it was a bug in the original categories that was installed for some reason. I think I have a theory that dragging this categories out and putting it back in fixed that. So the issue we saw with categories is now fixed, and that works correctly. If you want to add, let's say we have a content sidebar. Now there's nothing, each theme has available areas. For instance, this particular theme has it on the left. You'll see primary sidebar. Other themes could have it on the right, like we saw. A theme could have only one area. Usually almost all themes have a footer, which will be on the bottom, and I'll demo that. I'm going to drag pages in here. This is a list of all of our pages. Now I should see on the bottom here, yeah, it would span across the bottom if you had more widgets. Let me just drag some of these over here. Notice drag and drop, recent comments. I don't have to save anything either. It's just automatically saved. Now I have them spanning across the bottom instead of over here. The number of areas you have is dependent on the theme that you have, so that will vary greatly based on the theme. But the idea stays the same. Your widgets will span all pages. Unless, of course, you tell the page not to have a widget. And we'll talk about that right now. Pages. Let me click on sample page. Let's say I want sample page to not show any widgets. I meant to talk about this while we were going through pages and I skipped it. The template you choose is either the default template, which has the widget, or full width. Let's say you have something that you want to be full width. Notice that regular page has the sidebar, but sample page has a sidebar too. That's really a bad demonstration, but certain themes that have widgets on the side you can get rid of those widgets by doing full width. Notice I'm just going to enter some text here. I believe on a full width page, if I go back to this page now, yeah, so apparently the 2014 theme doesn't do anything with that. Let me go to a different theme that does. I'm not sure why WordPress would use a theme that doesn't. Again, another theme that doesn't. In theory, the full width theme should get rid of those. I've actually found very few themes that don't. So one good way to, let me try this one. That looks scary. Yeah, so sample page is a good way to work with that. One good way to work with the order of your pages, as we talked about, would be menus. We've talked about widgets already. We're going to move on to menus. Menus are the main way we recommend you work with pages in WordPress. Menus were introduced a long time ago, but they've been being used more primarily over the past couple of years here. I'm going to call this my main menu. Usually you only have one menu. If you could have an option for two, but the main menu, and I'm going to choose to add all of my pages. I'm going to click, I'm getting ahead of myself. The menu is now right here. All of my pages I can view over here via this drop down, or my links, or categories. I want to, let's say I want to have only some pages. I'm going to choose to do all of my pages, and I'm going to select all, add to menu. Now, just like we did with the widgets, you'll notice it's spinning, it's thinking. Now we have some pages in our menu. These are literally drag and drop. That's all there is to moving around pages in WordPress. Now, one important thing to note is that just because you chose parent pages and ordered, that does not affect the menu at all. We recommend menus because then you don't have to mess with parent pages or order. Now the parent pages will nest the URL. It will be parent page slash whatever slash whatever. Versus this way, if you don't have a parent page, it will just be vcantrell slash the name of the page. But we have an example subpage here, subpage rather. I'm going to choose to just grab this and drag this out. Notice the little box this little box surrounding it. If I pull it out, it snaps. So a subpage is a good way to nest stuff. Notice I'm going to hit Save Menu. Now when I hit Save Menu, my menu is not actually active. By the way, down here under I'm using that really crappy theme that doesn't support menus. So it gives me a little green notification. Your theme does not natively support menus. That's a good way to not have menus on your site. Let's switch back to an actual theme that does support menus, like any other theme. Let's go to 2014. We've been working with that. I'm going to click on menus on the side. Now, the way that you activate your locations would be by clicking top primary menu. It's pretty self-explanatory, or secondary menu in left sidebar. This is for a theme that offers two available menus. A lot of them will only have one. That's the primary navigation. You can just check that. If you don't check this, it won't take over the top menu. The top menu we're talking about is this menu up here. It's what it sounds like. It described it as the top primary menu. That would be this one. So I'm going to choose to take over that one. And by the way, I also wanted to automatically add new top level pages to this menu. So if I create more sub items and they're not top level pages, then it's not going to add them to the menu automatically. I'll have to come back in here, I'll have to view all, and I'll have to check the pages I want to add. So it's a little bit of work in this if you add more stuff later. But if you're just trying to organize your blog, menus are the best way to go. Save menu. Notice it's now, I now have these two here. If I want to make this a subpage, I just drag it out again. Now I have a subpage just like we did before. Let's say I want to move these around. I want welcome to be, well actually I have welcome twice, notice that. Don't know how that happened, but if I want to delete it, I can just click the arrow and I can hit remove. hit save menu. Now it's gone. If I want to move these around, I can make blog all the way to the right. Just drag blog all the way down here. Hit save menu, refresh, blog is all the way to the right. Menus are the best way to go when working with this kind of thing. You can add different stuff other than pages. Let's say I want to add a link to facebook.com. I want this to say Facebook. Add to menu. Now we have Facebook. I want it to be all the way to the right except not to the right of blog. I can move it around. Save menu. Facebook. Takes me to Facebook. So that's how you add links to your blog. That's how you there used to be a links section in WordPress. That's gone now. You would just add links by clicking over here. Categories, if I want to actually have the technology category, I can add that to the menu. And when people click that, they'll see all the stuff in the technology. This will be to the right of blogs, because that's what it looks like here. If I want it to be a subset of blog, I can do that. So if you don't want people to just see your blog, if you want to be able to hover over technology, you can do that, or just click blog and see everything. So menus are incredibly simple, drag and drop. But remember, if you do add more pages, you'll have to come here and go to add them. The initial thing, action of people is to look for them under most recent. Now, if you've just made them, the reason that most recent is here is because you probably just made them. But if you're looking for a page that you made a while ago that you wanted to add that wasn't here, you'd have to go to view all, or you could even search for the page. So that's how menus work in WordPress. They're really the best way to go when organizing your WordPress blog. Header. This is what it looks like. You can upload an image to your header if you want. This is again very theme dependent. Background is the same, very theme dependent. So right now it's just white. You can select a different color. If I want it to be more gray, I can have more of a gray background over here to the right. And that's how the appearance of your blog works. Plugins, you're not really able to work with these much. These are the available plugins. These are again dependent on what your WordPress administrator has installed, or if you want to add more, there'll be an add new up here if you're the administrator of your own blog. Users, you can add new users to your site. This is helpful if you want people to be subscribers, or if you're running an actual blog, you want people to write stuff, contributor or author, editor. You'd have to Google more of what these do. We're not going to get into that with WordPress because they're very specific to blogs, and very few people actually use them, surprisingly. These are if you want to add existing users on the network. So if you know their email address, their SAU email, you can invite them. Like for this specific WordPress installation, you could do any SAU, like let's say you have another classmate in MSW that you know has a portfolio and you want them to be able to work on yours. You can even add them to your site as an administrator right from here. Since you're an administrator of your site, you can add others to be administrators of your site, and you can do that directly from there. If you want to add new users, you can create new users directly from here. If you want to edit your profile, you can do that from the profile setting. So tools, you can export your blog if you're moving off of a network and you want to create your own site. You can export all content and then import it into your site, and all your pages, posts, and media will be exported as well. Actually, media might not be in some instances. You can download the file and then you'll go to import. Now you have to install the plugins, so in this case, well, we've already installed one for you here, but you would have to install the WordPress import. Actually, it looks like that's not the case. It looks like in WordPress 3.9 they include the default WordPress importer. You used to have to actually install this, which was confusing. But now you can just choose to browse and upload your XML file that you exported from over here. If you want to delete your site, you can do that. Don't do that unless you're done with it. On social work, definitely don't do that because that just makes more work for us. Settings. We're going to go through all these settings really quick. They've made a lot of this stuff easier. I wanted to say awesome. I thought we did this already. I must not have hit save. Awesome tutorial blog. I'm going to hit save changes and I'm going to refresh. Awesome tutorial blog is now shown here. This is the tagline that shows. Where it shows is dependent on which site, which theme you're on, but it will show in different places depending on the specific theme. So that's how you would change that. Email address. There's my email. That's a junk email that nobody uses. Time zone. I believe this is WordPress network installation specific, but I believe the default is always UTC +0. That's just what they chose. You're going to want to change this to UTC -5 if you're in the Eastern time zone, 6, 7, 8 if you're in Pacific. This is for the US. I mean, obviously set it to your own time zone. This is being done in the Eastern time zone, so we're going to choose -5 because unfortunately we're having a hard time finding a way to set this for everyone, so you do have to set this on your own in the social work network. Otherwise, all the dates on all of your assignments will be off, which is an unfortunate bug that we probably should work on. Date format, April 17, 2014. You can choose obviously the date format, the time format, etc. Lowercase PM, uppercase PM. Week starts on a Monday. Apparently these are non-Adventist people that run WordPress because the week starts on a Sunday or whatever. 7th day of the week is not Sunday. Save changes. Writing. This would convert emoticons to graphics on the display, just like Apple does sometimes in their iMessage. WordPress should correctly invalidate nested XHTML. If you don't know anything about XHTML, don't worry about this. If you do, you know what that means. Default post category. Let's say I want my default stuff to go in. I write a lot of tech stuff, so the default I want to be technology. Now, when I create a new post, the default will be technology, and I'll have to change it to something else. Default post format. You can adjust that there as well. Reading we've already looked at. Blog posts. Blog pages show at most 10 posts. Let's say I want that to be 15, not 510. 15. No? Okay. Don't know what the issue was there. 15. For each article in the feed, show a summary. This would be if you want it to show just the summary of each of your posts so you don't have to add the read more, or if you want it to show the whole post. Now, if you want to discourage search engines from indexing your site, you can click that. That'll put a little thing in there telling Google, please don't index me. That helps with spam, but you know, it's not 100%. That doesn't mean Google will listen. That's a good way to ask Google not to listen, not to index your site. Discussion. This is how you can disable comments one way. You can choose to uncheck anybody can post a comment. Well, that's email me whenever. But default settings, attempt to notify any blogs linked to this article. These are just discussion settings. Comment author must fill out name and email. User must be registered and logged into comment. That's a good one to check, just because that helps cut down on spam a lot. Only members of the site can comment. Now, that means that really, unless you add people to your site, nobody can comment on it. But if you're not looking for comments, that's a good way to cut down on that. Avatars, these are what people look like. You can choose the mystery man or some of these other weird stuff. Media, this is the default thumbnail size. Remember we said medium, that's what the 300 by 300, etc. and so forth. But 300 was the default on the left side. This is how you would change those defaults. So only do that if you know what you're doing. Permalinks, you can choose day and name, or a lot of websites we like to have post name as the default. What this does is this would be the name of the post rather than 2014 417. This cuts down on it. It's a little cleaner. Again, you would used to have to hack WordPress to do this. Now it's built in. That was a long time ago that you had to hack WordPress to do that. Custom sidebars. Don't worry about that. Again, these other ones are plugins that are installed. Don't worry about the rest of these. These are plugins that are specific to the social work network. I believe custom sidebars is as well. So redirect options is as well. Don't worry about that. Essentially, we've set up and created our own WordPress portfolio network. I'm going to go back to the home page. We've showed how to upload all these things, do videos, audio, Word documents, images, etc. We've showed how to do nested stuff, menus. We've showed how to mess with themes. Let me go back to widgets for a second because I didn't touch on everything here. I want to drag the meta off, which is the login and entries, are all this random WordPress stuff. Now that does take away your login page, your login button. So if you're visiting your site not through SW Pro, or if you don't know how to get to the login page, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So make sure you know how to do that. Usually, primarily, you can do that through wp-admin. Would be the login page for that. So whatever your site is, I don't think wp-admin, again, it will ask you to log in if you're not ready to be there. Settings, we've talked about everything here. Essentially, that's how to manage your WordPress portfolio. We've talked about all the different things with uploading videos, with how posts work. We've covered pretty much every aspect of WordPress, in essence. We could go into more detail on posts and stuff, but we've covered the basics on all these different categories. Media management has been the big change. Look of this dashboard has changed slightly, and media management has been a big change in WordPress. That's one of the things I've been working on the most, and it's been excellent. I mean, just obviously dragging and dropping in here, and then hitting insert into page. That's all there is to it. Now, let's say I want to edit this. By the way, I didn't show this earlier. If I click on this, I'll get this little X or edit. Edit, and they've redesigned this too. Edit now gives me this, I can choose whether I want it to be left aligned. These are all the options you had when you inserted it, but let's say I don't want it to be clickable, I just want it to be an image. I can update that, now it's left aligned. How do I edit that again? I just click on this and I hit the update. Advanced options are advanced stuff that you would have to know what these are to mess with them. So that's how WordPress works. By the way, remember I actually set the click-through link on this to be Facebook, and it actually does. When you click on the image, it goes to Facebook. If I don't want that to go to Facebook, I can go back to my welcome page. Again, click on the image, click the little pencil, and click None. Update. Now I can't click on this at all. So that's how media management works in WordPress. We showed documents, we showed PDFs, we showed how to change stuff to PDFs. That's pretty much a complete overview of WordPress 3.9. Okay, that came out on April 16 of 2014.